Sister Act once said.
As who?
Sister Act.
Oh, right, okay.
Come on.
I haven't watched it for a long time. We were meant to go. I did get Lucy tickets to see the brand new musical.
Yeah.
Goldberg producer, directed or something.
Yeah.
But then COVID hit, so I think every ticket, all the tickets I get for her to do something, they always cancel for whatever reason. Gutted.
And is this in the COVID era or anything pre-COVID?
No, this was the musical's COVID era, but before that, I bought her something else for Sister Act because she really likes Sister Act. You might have guessed.
Yeah.
I think they were doing a film showing, and then the orchestra was playing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That got cancelled for some reason. She got me some tickets, and that got cancelled for some reason. Kiss of death.
It's the world telling you not to go out, isn't it? Basically,
it is. It tried to pre-warn us years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Should we get cracking?
I think we should talk about the weekend, David, before we go anywhere.
I know it was. I mean, I got the Christmas tree. That's what you want to talk about, isn't it? Really,
that's one of the subjects I want to talk about. Can we just say, after everything you were saying last week, this weekend, you, David Evans, put up the Christmas tree.
Yeah, there is a logical reason for that. Despite,
we don't need to go into that.
I thought what I just found quite funny was both of us messaging each other in the week back and forth about the game of the weekend. Both of us thinking the other team was easily going to lose, or our team was easily going to lose.
I wasn't that confident because of our injury problems.
And I just looked at it and I thought, Wolves are being very confident. That's not a good sign. And I did say when I did the 7-2 that there would be another opportunity for you this season to get your own back. So there you go. Hopefully, at the return leg, which I doubt, we can repay the favour, but we shall see. But let's get cracking, Mike, shall we?
Let's get cracking.
It's the Christmas episode, part 2 of ADQ. I thought we might have a Christmas jingle this week.
Oh, did you?
Oh, well, I did say that, and I thought it'd only be really me singing down the mic. So,
that or just bells in the background.
Yeah. Oh, they just get little shakers. But it is part 2 of our Christmas episode of ADQ, a Daft question. Thank you very much for joining in. This is the podcast where we try and answer the questions you never thought you needed the answers to. Joining me this week, as always, Michael, I apologise because I haven't thought of a witty thing in perhaps pre-des. Let's say, okay, he is the 4 to my nil.
There we go.
It is Mr. Mike Malins. How you doing?
I am brilliant, David. How are you?
I'm okay. We're going to get into Christmas Tree Gate in a second as well. I think we need to do that. But apart from that, fine. Looking forward to Christmas already now. I think it's strange when the tree's up.
Yeah.
You do start getting into the spirit.
Yeah, I'm sure. And we're going to get it. We've talked about going to get ours this week. But I think, is it Thursday, Friday? It'll be 2 weeks until Christmas. So going off our conversation last week, David, I'm the one that's sticking to my guns here.
You are doing the right thing. You are doing the right thing. So we're doing our second episode of our Christmas questions. And not only is our part 2 of that Christmas questions, it is our last episode of this series. Series 1. I know, we started in mid-September time.
Was it September? I thought, okay.
It's around then. And then we've done, this is our 12th episode of the series. And this is the end of series 1, with series 2 coming in the new year. So just a big thank you to everybody who's decided that they wanted to listen to this series over 12 episodes, whether it was one episode or all 12.
And can I, David, say thank you to you? Because you're the one that thinks the questions, does the editing, puts it up on YouTube, does the jingle. I literally just turn up here and talk into a mic.
But you're the
You do
talent,
everything.
Mike. You're the talent. I am the producer working away. You're the talent. As
Well,
long as you're not
I'll
asking
take that.
for any high demands like only green Skittles.
No,
then I'm
just
fine with
to
that.
get paid, David. That's what I'm asking for.
One day, one sponsor. Someone's going to take pity on us and sponsor us like £1. So there you go.
I'll
Have
take
that.
it. I'll take it.
Yeah. So we're doing more Christmas questions this week. I think one in particular is going to be very interesting for the Christmas questions. I have made a whole page worth of notes on this one, which I
Okay,
don't
then.
usually do with the other ones. But let's get cracking with correspondence.
Yes.
First, Mike. People's responses to last week's Christmas questions. I don't think we'll do the plug this time, Mike, for how people can get in touch because we won't be doing one next week. But people can feel free to send us their questions or whatever over Christmas for Series 2 via the usual channels. Mike, correspondence from last week.
Here we go. So got a couple on the old Christmas tree decoration situation. One from @StewJ4Z over on the Twitter. He tweeted us, as a kid, we used to put up decorations after my birthday, 8th of December. Fine. But
Yep.
changed to 1st of December in 2000. Yeah, okay, acceptable. Fine. This year, I decorated my gaming room mid-November so I can enjoy Christmas films better. The rest of the house was done on Friday, just gone. More Christmas time, the better. Christmas tree emoji.
No.
No.
It's a flat no.
The thing is,
Mid-November.
as we know, he does a podcast called
Yeah.
Fighting Cage, and they obviously talk all things films. So I imagine that he would have to watch the Christmas films as a bit of research, so I can still kind of understand it. However, there is nothing wrong with just grabbing a Baileys and a mince pie and getting you in the mood there.
I'm going to, just for the sake of those guys, I'm going to correct you before they stab you in the back and say cage fighting, not fighting cage.
Oh, did I say Fighting Cage?
How dare you? They're our number one fan,
They
and
are.
you've got the name of the podcast wrong.
Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. And I bigged you up this week as well and told people to listen to you. I'm really sorry.
But I think they'll enjoy one of the questions this week anyway, so we can make it
Yes.
up to them with
Yes.
that question. Okay, so Stu went for mid-November, but acceptable for the start of December in certain aspects, we'll say. Anything else on that front?
Yes. Someone texts me and wants to remain anonymous.
Oh, now, again, it's not on the official channels, is
Well,
it?
to be fair, though, he does say, right, so he says, we were texting back and forth, and he just says, also, would rather say on here than official correspondence channels to avoid to be named and shamed. Our Christmas decorations went up on the 8th of November. Brackets, sorry.
Right. Any explanation to why?
Kind of, yeah. He's usually he said, yeah, we'll do it on that day, whatever, because he usually then just goes out and plays golf.
Okay.
So he agreed to this date, knowing that he'd be fine. If she's doing that, I can play golf, keep her happy, whatever. But then because of COVID, golf got cancelled, so he had to stay in and help decorate, as well as having it up early.
8th of November, that is just way... Yeah. That's way too early. 8th of November.
They've already been up a month.
Let me do Christmas tree gate my side,
Please
Mike,
do, David.
because obviously last week we were very adamant that you don't put your Christmas tree up until, like you're doing this week, the second week until Christmas. I had to be very tactical this week and give in to the Christmas tree putting up. The key reason was we are trying to move house. We were very much told that it was very much likely to be before Christmas, so we thought, well, we're not going to put the tree up. And it then turned out the New Year.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, Mrs. E very disappointed, obviously as I, but Mrs. E more so disappointed. And I thought, hang on a second, how can I help her feel happier about this? Let's go get the Christmas tree put up. Don't get me wrong, it felt very strange on the 5th of December buying the Christmas tree. And it was rammed. We went to the local garden centre, got the tree, and it was rammed full of people buying their trees. So put the tree up. It still feels a bit strange that it's up. It almost still doesn't feel right, but I'm getting more into the Christmas spirit now because the tree is up.
And
so,
it's a nice tree. It's a nice looking tree, David.
Yeah.
It's not like some of the ones we've seen on Facebook.
But yeah, there was a valid excuse this year for why that
Right,
happened.
okay.
So apologies to you, Mike, and apologies to everybody else listening who was disgusted by that behaviour. Anyway, okay, so Christmas tree gate done. Other correspondence on other questions, Mike?
Yes, so the TIG tag dispute.
Yes.
So basically, it seems like it's a northern thing. We
Okay.
we definitely call it TIG. You call it tag.
Yeah.
Someone tweeted us, my cousin, my mate's ex me. It's definitely TIG, so that reassured me.
Okay.
But I do think that with you guys using tag, that's you just nicking another word from America to kind of brand as your own for the West Midlanders, Brummies, whatever you
West Midlanders have purposely repurposed American slang.
You keep taking words from America. I mean,
Please give me other examples.
I can only think of one other example. But it backs up.
Right.
What do you call your mother?
Mom.
Mom, exactly. Mom.
Okay.
MOM.
In fairness, Catherine calls her mom and wants to be called herself as mum.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's all exceptions to the rules, David. But when I would live back down there, and knowing you, like everyone seems to call their mother mom. There's even cards. Mom. You'll even get cards in Clinton's and Card Factory that says mom.
Yeah, I have to specifically get a mum card for Catherine when it's Mother's Day.
So that's what I think. I think you've just another one. You've just decided, right? Well, we don't want to have TIG. Let's call it tag.
Okay. So, what was the Twitter person saying on the TikTok
so
debate?
my cousin basically said that it is tag.
Okay. I would say it's tag. My
cousin said it was TIG. Sorry, he said it was TIG. But you guys say it's tag.
I asked Catherine, and she said she's heard both when she was at school.
Right, okay.
Which is surprising given the whole Midlands.
I'd never heard it, except for America, I'd never heard it as tag.
But again, my side, I've never heard it as TIG. How the other half lives. How the other half lives.
And finally, at ADPR84, on the discussion of the chocolate tubs.
Ooh, okay.
So he says, depends on the size of the box of the tub in question, but he will quite happily have all of them in one go. I like this guy.
Yeah, Adam's he's a chocolate connoisseur. Something I wanted to do for this series, which I'm going to try and do for the next series, which he did on my previous less successful podcast, Wolves Fancast, was it
was a great show this week.
Yeah. Did you actually listen to it?
I've so far watched the YouTube fan reaction.
Okay.
But I haven't listened. I will do. Don't worry.
Were you just lighting up a cigar while you're watching it?
Add one of my whiskies or two.
But on one of the episodes we did, it must have been a couple of years ago, he brought up the suggestion of using a chocolate bar, mainly a twirl, as a straw to drink your tea.
Okay, yeah, I have heard. Yeah, I've heard stuff like this.
How you drill into a twirl to make it a hole in the middle to then do that is another question. I actually before you prep for this series, I asked him how he did it, and he wasn't sure at the time.
But the twirl has the holes in, so you bite one end and you bite to the other end, and then just suck. Yeah. It's got the holes in because it's but is it folded chocolate, isn't it?
But would it still not be thick enough for there not to be holes present still? We need to test it out, basically.
Yeah, I'm game for it. I'm quite happy to do that.
It's going to be in series 2 now. So that one there. Okay, Adam, thank you very much for that one. Any other correspondence?
That's all we have, David.
Okay,
decent enough to say.
Usual channels. If you want to get in touch with your reactions to this week's questions and any questions you'd like to see in series 2 in the next year. But Michael, Christmas time, ding dong, merry and high. Let's get some more Christmas questions.
Boom.
Michael, Christmas films. It's like one time of the year where you can snuggle down at Christmas and watch a film about Christmas.
You can.
If for some reason you are daft enough, you'll stick on Christmas 24 in October and watch it from then. Or any of the plethora of Netflix films that are already out now for Christmas. It's its own genre now on Netflix.
It is.
I mean, mid-November.
It's been huge the last few years.
Get your Christmas films out. But I think this is going to be the big question of the podcast already, is what I want to know, Mike, is how do you class a Christmas film?
anything with Christmas in. And
Okay.
I'm saying that so we can get Die Hard in this.
Oh, right. I've got a gripe with that straight away.
Right.
I don't remember at least 6-7 years ago people making a strong point that Die Hard was a Christmas film.
Yeah.
I think this has become the new putting your Christmas tree up early thing. I think people are just trying to sneak it in because they want it to not be. They want a real film to not be the traditional Christmas
I'd
film.
never thought about it until you started seeing the posts and whatever on social media, and you think, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So, and then, but think about it. It is
set at Christmas.
It is set at Christmas, and there are moments that make the film because it's Christmas.
Okay.
So therefore, it is anything. I mean, if you go, I don't know, if you do a film and there's a bit of love in it, and there's a bit of comedy in it, it's a romantic comedy.
Okay.
If you do a film with a bit of Christmas in, some decorations, there's a tree, and it's all gathered round leading up to Christmas Day or whatever, then it's a Christmas film.
So does it have to have only a minute referencing Christmas to be a Christmas film?
No. Because if you just say no, because you could do I don't know, Easter film and say, "Oh, can't wait for Christmas." That doesn't make no, David. It's a stupid comment.
Okay. But that's where you were leading to there. That it's just going to have it's going to have a bit of Christmas in for it to be a Christmas film.
It needs to be around Christmas, so it needs to be featured in the Christmas period, and therefore it's a Christmas film.
Okay, so it's going to be set at Christmas to be classed as a Christmas film. So this is where I come with Die Hard. For me, it's set at Christmas, but then I think the narrative has to be about Christmas or have Christmas elements to it. So Die Hard to me is a film about an action hero who foils terrorists, but it's just set at Christmas. So to me, it's not a Christmas film.
Yes, okay. But were they not in a Christmas works do?
Yeah, but that's just the setting. That's just the setting, isn't it?
So
that's not the narrative.
It's Christmas. Yeah, but
it's not. It's
okay. It's a
strong
start to the as a narrative to the film.
I get you. Iron Man 3.
No, you don't.
No. Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3, a Christmas film?
Oh, we've pulled this out the bag.
Iron Man 3 is set at Christmas, but features very little Christmas references. And I think all you see is a Christmas tree at one point, but it's all set at Christmas. Therefore, by that logic, Iron Man 3 is a warm, fuzzy film to put on at Christmas.
Very, very quickly, just remind me of the story of number 3.
So, Iron Man 3 is obviously good old Iron Man Tony Stark, who is... I'm trying to think how you put this in a,
Which one is it? Because it's
synopsis. It's with the terrorist who actually turns out, spoilers, not to be a terrorist.
Yeah. That was it was crap. That
but that's set at Christmas. So in that logic, it's a Christmas film. This is where I think you start getting lots of grey areas. I think
I'd have to watch that again.
Okay. There's a James.
Oh, look at you! You've got a full-on backlog here,
there's a James Bond film, which I can't remember, called Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Right.
That's set at Christmas. I again wouldn't necessarily call it a Christmas film.
I've never seen you so serious.
Right. Okay. So my argument is, the narrative's got to be out at Christmas. So the goat of all Christmas films, The Muppets Christmas Carol.
That is not the goat.
It is. It's the greatest Christmas film of all time. It is. I'm not having anything else. It is. Okay, other films. The Santa Claus, Tim Allen.
What are you saying? These are up there as as the best?
No. These are Christmas. I'm giving you examples. I'd say the narrative is about Christmas, so that's it. The Santa Claus movie. If I have to go to the Netflix world, Christmas Chronicles recently, and there's the second one. Right. Again, the narrative's all about Christmas, so it's a Christmas film. This is where I also think Home Alone, to me, is a grey area. Like McFly a couple of weeks ago, Home Alone's a grey area. Right, hear me out on this one. This is why I've got a page of the notes all on this. So, it's set at Christmas, yeah? Fine. Parts of the narrative are about Christmas. Families go away for Christmas. You see the stuff about when they're trying to come back to Kevin. They get stuck. They can't get any planes out because of Christmas. So the realities of traffic and things like that. There's a lot of messages about forgiveness, helping people out at Christmas, stuff like that. So that's all there. But to me, if I said to you, sum up what Home Alone is about in a sentence, what would you say?
A kid is home alone in a house and waits for his parents to come back.
Or a kid is home alone and uses his demonic ways to terrorise burglars.
Okay, right. Well,
how is any of that about Christmas?
Okay. I'm going to flip back with that.
Okay.
In a sentence,
yeah.
Tell me what the Muppets Christmas Carol is about.
It's about a man. It's about a man who's visited by 3 ghosts of Christmas past.
Yeah, of ghosts, because he's mean. Nothing about Christmas.
Yeah, but he's mean because because he's lost the spirit of Christmas, and he shows them what Christmas is all about.
Right, and the reason why that the McAllisters can't get back in time, but the McAllisters go away for Christmas, and they can't get back in time because it's winter and it's Christmas, and he's loving life before Christmas, and he wants his family back before Christmas.
Yeah.
So you've got no argument for me.
I just think it's all set at Christmas, but the core root of that story is about a kid who's home alone, has to defend his house from burglars.
Right.
And if you think about Home Alone, it's the inspiration for Saw.
Right, hang on. We'll get back to that in a second.
Okay.
Right, and then exactly the same for Christmas Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Set at Christmas, but fundamentally, it's about a guy that's mean and doesn't care about anybody else.
Yeah, but it has to be visited by. But yes, this is. I think we're basically saying that no Christmas film is a Christmas film by this logic. He is, but it's because. Oh yeah, I'm losing my argument here. I think we just say that no Christmas film is a Christmas film, basically, on that logic.
It is a tough one, to be fair, because it's like because my favourite Christmas film is Love Actually.
Okay, yeah,
but fundamentally, that is just couples or whatever around Christmas time.
Yeah. And I think it also depends on as well, some films were released at Christmas, but probably would be classed as a Christmas film, but there's nothing to do with them about Christmas.
Yep.
You might watch a film at Christmas every year as a tradition. It's not a Christmas film, but for you, it's a Christmas film because you watch it as a tradition every year.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I went on the Rotten Tomatoes website to find, they did a list of the 62 best Christmas movies of all time.
Oh, okay.
There were some on here that I would never have thought would be Christmas films, but because of those different circumstances, they've been cast as them.
Right.
So let me give you some examples. Well, firstly, off the top, what do you think made number 1? What's the greatest one? Based on different factors and mainly the Rotten Tomatoes score factor.
The Snowman one.
The Snowman one, what, the animation
one?
No, It's a Wonderful Life.
The black and white film.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of that. I was trying to think of the title of that, but couldn't. So I thought, well, best not look stupid.
I've never seen that.
No, I haven't seen it either.
And I've got no intention to see it either.
No.
Right, I'm going through these lists of films, and I'll give you some films that they class as Christmas films that I was like, what? So, Edward Scissorhands.
Shut up.
It's number 19.
It's a Christmas film.
It was released in mid-November, so I don't know whether they were trying to class it as maybe it did well at Christmas, whether it was at number 1
was there
at Christmas
was
at
there
the
a bit
time.
of snow? There is a bit.
There
is snow in the film, isn't there? I think there's like one of them famous scene where there's snow. I'm sure there is.
Yeah. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang in 2005. It's got Robert Downey Jr., Val Kilmer in it. Gremlins, but I think Gremlins is set at Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah,
if I remember right. Other ones, Batman Returns. Isn't that actually set at Christmas?
Yeah, it is. I'm on board with that.
So you could put that in the argument.
In fact, I do remember people have argued Batman Returns because of Die Hard.
Sadly, A Muppets Christmas Carol is 42 in that list.
Where's Love Actually?
It's not even in the 62.
Is it not?
Get in. But I think this is probably more of an American site. So
No.
maybe I think Britons have more of an affection with Love Actually
Right.
than Americans do. Home Alone is number 51 on there. Oh, no, sorry. Love Actually is on there. Sorry, ignore me. 57.
Okay.
57th on there. Yeah, and then other ones are Christmas films. But there was someone there I was thinking, what, really? This is a Christmas film? Okay. I think it's one of these topics. I think you are on one side of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Die Hard one is where the fence is.
Yeah.
You either think it's a Christmas film or not. And I think then when you break it down, it really starts gathering what a Christmas film is. I think
with Die Hard, like between me and you, I think it's just a load of lads that are trying to be like, I want to watch a Christmas film. Die Hard's got Christmas in it. Let's watch Die Hard. And then they've just gone with it. Don't tell anyone said that. Just between me and you.
yeah.
But
that's what I mean. That's what I was trying to say at the start. That's all that's happened. Guys have tried to shoehorn in a Christmas film so they could watch something like Die Hard.
And there's people like you and me that wants Love Actually instead, or Muppets Christmas Carol. But other guys, other men, have got other ideas.
I think I'm worried as well that we've basically, like I've said before, ruined the concept of a Christmas film and broken it down too much. So let's say that you can interpret a Christmas film as
however you want. Life is too short.
Yeah.
To start picking on people for thinking that Die Hard is a Christmas film and not a Christmas film, or if there's actually a Christmas message in the Muppets Christmas Carol or not.
There is. It's Muppets singing and dancing. That is the message.
I remember going to the cinema to see that. It was one of my earliest. That and Hook is one of my earliest cinema memories.
Oh, Hook is the first film I think I saw at Christmas at the cinema.
I think Hook was mine.
And I think my memories being petrified.
Oh, really?
Because if you look at Hook back in now, he would have been a very scary character for a 6-year-old. I think I went to see it. Proper first film experience I think I remember properly was Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay then.
And that's still one of my favourite films.
I used to be scared at Jurassic Park. Oh, yeah. I know.
Anyway, we're going off topic. It's not Christmas related.
If there was a Christmas cage fighting cage pod.
If there was a Christmas tree in the background of Jurassic Park, it's a Christmas film. Come on. Okay, let's get to another question. Mike, as people know already from listening to this podcast, we are both big fans of food. So it's another week of questions. It's another week we've got to get a food question in. We talked a few weeks ago about the ultimate Sunday dinner. So therefore, we could not leave out this big question, the ultimate Christmas dinner. Are you just taking that off just to rub it in even more?
I'm hot, David.
With the Liverpool top.
I'm just hot. That's all it is.
You're going to turn around in a second and there's going to be Jota on the back of that just to make me feel even worse. We are so glad.
Jota's here. Jota, come through.
Anyway, we're talking about the ultimate Christmas dinner. What do you need to put on your plate to make it the ultimate? Usually, Mike, on these questions, I make some kind of limitations to make it interesting. I'm going to say, because it's Christmas and like a Christmas dinner, anything goes. It's the one kind of meal in the year where I think you can really get away with whatever you want on that plate.
Sweet.
So let's break it down then. Let's go with meats firstly. We talked about, Matt sent in the question last week about turkey and chicken. I think we can easily say that turkey would be the number one choice. Would you say?
I don't know, I think only because it's Christmas, then yeah. But if I was to pick... I was saying this to Lucy the other day. If I was to pick any cooked meat, whether it's Christmas dinner or a Sunday roast, it's a good roast ham for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. I wasn't expecting that at all. Good old ham.
I love proper good ham. just love it, David.
I think I'd still go with turkey. I think it's Christmas. It's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Give me a bit of that turkey. Okay. Come on, Mike. Give me that dish. What are you going for? Anything you want on that plate.
Right, well, I'm not just having one meat.
Yeah. Okay. You're going for multiple meats.
Yeah, of course. So, ham, beef, pork, turkey.
Okay, yeah. I'll go for all that. Yep.
Yep. So yeah, so have a couple of slices of them each. So you've got your 4 meats. Then stuffing.
Yep.
Not bothered what kind of stuffing. All stuffing's good.
Okay. Do you have it? Would you have it in the ball, or would you have it just as like a? You can get it like as a paste kind of thing.
Ideally ball, because I think you get more.
Okay, you get more coverage.
So if you get 4 balls of stuffing, there's more there to eat.
Okay, yeah. You're not going to get away with that one as well.
What?
I thought there was a twinkle in your eye. 4 balls of stuffing. I was like, no,
What are you about?
nothing. Go on, carry on. You don't realise. Carry on.
Then ideally,
Yeah.
4 Yorkshire puddings.
Okay.
So far, David, I've got 4 meats, 4 balls of stuffing, 4 Yorkshire puddings.
Anything else or nothing else?
Oh no, there's so much more. 4 roast potatoes.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay. You've got where I'm going with.
Yeah.
Right. No. So stuffing balls, Yorkshire puds, absolutely. Roast potatoes, the crispier the better.
Okay. Yeah.
My mum used to, back in the day when I was a kid, she doesn't do it anymore because she's trying to be all healthy. But back in the day, she used to, and it's probably a bit disgusting, but they were so nice. She'd cook the roast potatoes, leave the fat in the pan for a week, then cook the potatoes in that same fat, and then serve us the potatoes. And she'd do that every week on a Sunday roast, and obviously do it for Christmas. Oh, they were so nice.
That does sound quite good, especially that you've had to let them stew in that fat for a week as well.
So nice. So we have that. I'd probably have some mash as well.
Okay, I think I'd be pushing it with mash. I can't see it as a Christmas dinner potato option.
Okay.
I'd go for just roasts for moi.
Pigs in blankets.
Yeah.
As many as possible.
Okay. Any cheese wrapped around those sausages?
Well, if I can't get hands any bacon, then we have got some apple wood in the fridge. So.
Ooh. Okay.
And then I think veg is left pretty much then.
Yeah. Okay. I think there's a key question with the veg though. Do you go sprouts on Christmas dinner?
Love sprouts.
Very much. Yes. I wouldn't have them any other time of the year though.
Would you not?
No. I just can't be bothered. But it's there as an option on Christmas dinner.
Did you try last year? Because I don't think they're doing them this year. Because obviously they didn't sell. Walker's Brussels sprouts flavoured crisps.
No. Did you try them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were nice.
Okay.
I liked them.
Yeah, but I'm all way for sprouts though. Christmas dinner. Okay.
Parsnips.
Yeah. Do you go for just normal cooked or roasted parsnips?
Ideally roasted.
Yeah.
Honey glazed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Carrots.
Yeah.
Mashed carrots, though. My mum does some good mashed carrots.
Okay. I don't think I've ever had mashed carrots before.
With butter. Then it's nice.
Okay.
Broccoli,
cauliflower.
Yeah. I'd take them.
Cheesy cauliflower.
Oh, I've completely forgot. Because back in my family household, that wasn't a thing. But then with being with Lucy, it's a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love a bit of cheesy cauliflower.
Especially if it's all like crisped at the top as well.
Yeah. So if we can get rid of the normal cauliflower and get cheesy cauliflower, boom.
Okay.
And then thick gravy.
Very good. I'm all for that.
I think that's it.
I don't think there's anything I'd add on to that. I'd probably have some mint sauce.
Oh, okay then, for lamb.
Yeah. No, just in general, just have it. It doesn't matter what meat it is.
Okay then.
Just whack some mint sauce on there.
I forgot lamb.
It is the ultimate Christmas dinner, so you can add a bit of lamb on if you want.
What did I say? So I had ham, beef, pork, turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have some lamb. Chicken.
Would you just add? Would you add chicken on there just for the sake of it?
If it wasn't served, I'm not going to kick off. But if the option was there, I'd probably take it. So yeah, 6 meats.
I need my 5 meat groups. Would you add steak on that?
As a starter, yeah.
Yeah, as a starter.
Bit of ribeye.
Okay. I think then with ultimate Christmas dinner, yeah, I'm all for that. Oh, Yorkshire puddings. Would you have?
Yeah, I've said Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah, okay. I'd have that. I don't think on my list there's anything else that's different on that one. How do you have your Christmas dinner usually, depending on where you are? Do you just have it all served up on a plate, or do you have more of a kind of a buffet style where you can then
It's
whole serve up your plate yourself and then add to it if you want
there's
later on?
various, if I remember rightly from both camps, there's various elements. Um,
And now live to the Mailings camp. Let's see how they're doing the Christmas dinner this year. It's intense here, I can tell you that now. They've got turkey, they've got beef separate.
yeah, no, they do, like, definitely the veg is a buffet style thing. I think the pigs in blankets might be a buffet style thing.
Mm-hmm.
The meat is usually already cut and it's on the plate, I think. And then if you want seconds, you can have seconds. I'm not. At my mum's, I try and get to the veg as quickly as possible because my granddad has a tendency to go over food and be like, "Pass me that, Michael."
Oh, right,
It's
okay.
like, yeah, okay, granddad. I'm just gonna take this over here. But yeah, I think most of it is a buffet style thing, and you can just help yourself then.
I'm in two different worlds on mine because my mum and dad have always just done it as a general kind of plate it all up.
Yep.
There you go. But there is spare if you want it.
Cool.
But not in a buffet style. But Catherine's mum and dad are very much in that camp of it's all out there as a buffet style. Help yourself and then help yourself more afterwards. What are you going for then for... Didn't we talk about this last time about puddings?
Cheesecake every time.
Yeah,
because I don't like Christmas pudding.
Me neither.
So it'll definitely be cheesecake. Do you have a starter?
So, if it's at my parents, but not at Catherine's parents. But my mum and dad started this about 10 years ago. But when I was a kid, we never usually had starters, as far as I'm aware.
Right. Yeah.
What do you have starters?
At Lucy's parents, yeah. But not.
What's usually the starter of choice?
Does
it vary?
I think they mix it up.
Different meats.
I think there might have been like a Chinese style starter one year.
Oh, Oriental. Interesting.
And I tell you what they do at Lucy's parents as well. After every course, there's a scratch card underneath your placemat. And it's like one of them £5 ones that you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So after every course, you just scratch it off and then you put it back under your placemat.
That is a tradition from Catherine's parents.
Right.
At big meals, they'll have a scratch card under the placemats to the point where a lot of Catherine's nieces and nephews, when they were little, they used to come round in general for a meal. And Catherine's mum and dad would serve up a dinner, sit up the table. First thing they do, they just peer under the placemat to see the scratch cards. And that's what Mary does now. When she was there beforehand, she'll, if there was up for dinner, just peer under the placemat and then she'll be like, oh, there's nothing there. But yeah, so yeah, I really like that tradition. When we obviously pre-COVID, when we had people around, we had a big meal. We would do that as well. We would get the scratch cards and put it under the placemats. I think it's a nice.
No, I last time I was there, I won. I can't remember how much it was. Maybe like £7 or £10. And apparently, that's the first time anyone ever at the table has won something.
Really?
Yeah.
And did they at that point they go, "Oh, you do know the rule that we split it?"
Oh yeah. My dad was fuming. Gravy was everywhere.
Okay, on that bombshell then, ultimate Christmas dinner, we're saying it's basically whatever you want, but as many meats as you can.
Yes.
Right, it's time for listener questions, everybody. It's your chance to send in your questions via the usual channels, and we try and answer them. I know we've had some non-Christmas questions before, Michael, which we're saying for Series 2, but has there been any Christmassy questions that we're going to try and answer?
There has, but my Samsung Notes has decided to upgrade.
Oh, okay.
Hang on, because I know where they all are. So I can just go on the relevant channels, David.
I thought you had your little notebook.
Yeah, I know, but I couldn't be bothered this week. I was just sat in the living room, and I thought this is going to be easier.
Okay, I do have.
I've got them.
Okay, here we go.
Right,
He's got them ready.
Instagram questions.
Okay.
Now at John James Bruce asked 2 questions, but I've picked one, and if we've got time, we'll go back and answer the second one. But he asks, why do we only seem to eat Toblerones at Christmas?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. Has that become a Christian tradition?
I think
I don't remember it being.
I think it's quite big on Christmas. I mean, let's be honest. Unless you're in an airport, where else do you see a Toblerone
That's true,
besides Christmas
actually.
time?
Do you ever buy the novelty oversized Toblerones?
Not what from the airports.
No, just in general.
No, I'm not. It's just I don't mind a Toblerone, and if it was bought for me or if it was offered to me, great.
Mm.
But you can just get cheaper chocolate. Like it's fine. Like I'm not spending
I think,
£10 in a
yeah,
bar.
I think Toblerones are some of the worst. When I say worst, kind of the worst way to eat a chocolate bar as well.
Okay, then.
If that makes sense, just because the jagged edges.
Yep.
If you try and eat that with 2 or 3, it's just going to hurt the roof of your mouth. You have to then try and peel it off one by, or
Yeah.
snap it off one by one.
I think that's how you're meant to eat a Toblerone, David. You don't get the full bar and just go.
Well, I was today years old when I learnt that. So, okay. I guess it's a Christmas tradition.
I think it is, but I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, if someone bought it me, I'd be happy to eat it in April.
Okay. Any other questions? Has he got another part to that question? Did you say?
Well, he had 2 questions, but I'm just thinking time wise. We'll answer that one. And if we've got time at the end, then we'll go back to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Instagram again at Fancy Accents. What time on Christmas Day is it acceptable to start drinking?
Oh, now, do you have a tradition? I promise you, when I say this, I'm going to sound really middle class again, but I don't care. Do you do Bucks Fizz at all?
Yes, my mum's big on Buck Fizz.
See, I think it's fine to have that mid morning.
Yeah, I'd have no. Well, I'd have no problem having a Bucks Fizz or an Irish coffee or whatever in the morning, and then starting beer drinking at 10:30, 11.
I think again, Christmas Day, I think everything goes out the window. It's supposed to be a day to relax and have fun and
Yeah,
kind of eat and drink what you want. So I think, really, if you want to get up and pour some Fosters into your Cocoa Pops, then
I'm not going to judge you.
no, it's Christmas Day.
Yeah,
Do you
it's going to
what
be
you
different
feel
this
like?
year though because of Ivy, which is
Yeah.
I'll have to remember. I can't drink that many cans. Can't drink that much whiskey.
Yeah, that is the strange difference. Once you have kids, is you've really got to remember where the responsibilities lie.
Yeah.
In terms of what you're doing. Okay, so we're saying kind of basically any time really on Christmas
Yeah.
Day. Other cues.
Okay, so Twitter, and now we've kind of stolen this from Cage Fighting.
Okay,
At Ash
they're not going
Dolan
to be happy
16.
still. Yeah.
What do you imagine the working conditions are for the elves in Santa's workshop? Do they have a contract, a wage? Is there HR? More importantly, do they have a Christmas party? And what scandalous shit must happen there?
You would think that after so many years, there's a proper regimented schedule and support system for elves now for how they work. 'Cause
Yeah.
Are they working 24/7? Is there enough that they can be on shift patterns? Because in theory, with the amount of children left in the world, they have to start as soon as Christmas Day finishes, or it's just a round trip that's constantly on the move. They've got to think 2 or 3 years in advance of what presents they're making. So I don't think it's slave labour camps anymore.
No.
Maybe it was at one point.
I don't think it's. And I imagine as well, Mrs. Claus has a lot to do with that. I think she's very much head of HR.
Yeah.
Head of like come and see us if you've got a problem, which is essentially HR. But health and safety, I think HR, health and safety, Mrs. Claus is right on top of that to make sure that her husband has the adequate workforce to make sure that he gets out and delivers all these toys to the children that deserve it.
She is probably the head of all the buzzwords you would hear at work. So she's the head of people. Yeah. She's the head of digital strategy or digital transformation.
What has Santa got for digital strategy?
I'm sure he's got a Twitter account. I'm sure he's got to get those followers up.
He's got
He's
a
got
Twitter
to.
account.
He's got to get those likes or follows on TikTok. I don't know how it works. Subscribers.
Well, surely he hasn't got time because he's responding to all the letters that he gets in December.
I think he's just a busy man. But I think if he can go around the world in one night and deliver all those presents, then he must have the time to also manage his social media channels. I think so.
It pays an elf to sort it out
Yeah.
for him. Or an influencer.
An elf influencer. But they have to kind of... Hey! What happens if that elf influencer gets bigger than Santa, though? His brand stock is bigger than Santa. You
Then
can't
he'll
be bigger than
probably
Santa.
branch out on his own.
But then does that
He
become
can be
like
bigger than
just...
Santa. Look at The Rock.
But I mean, within the Santa Claus world, does it become like the mafia that no one can be bigger than the big man?
Oh, right, okay. And if he does get too big, then Santa gets someone to gun him down.
Yeah. Maybe not gunning down. Maybe just put him into a different department.
Sleep.
Yeah. Work on packaging or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that they've got enough know-how over the years to know what they're doing.
Spiff, Spoff. Spiff, Spoff?
Spiff, Spoff with?
I don't know where I'm going with that. Really good working conditions.
Yeah. I think they must plan stuff in advance. Do you know that Boots have already got their Christmas campaign for that year signed off and done in February?
I think, excuse me. Oh.
Well, this is what I've been told, by the way. I'm sure Boots will come back to me and tell me.
I think there's a few. I think they're good to tweet us. I think there's a few companies that have it like really early, but I bet a lot of them would have just been chucked out the window this year. They'd have had to restart again.
And it makes you think that they know what the big sellers are going to be that year as well. That's a lot of foresight to know what it's going to be. Anyway, thank you, Ash, for that question. We think we've answered it for you.
Yeah,
any other questions?
So. Yes, so we've got one. So we've got the email question that we mentioned last week.
Okay, yeah. So should we just do it? Go on, you do it.
No, well, I was just going to say, but Tobias Hogg 2 also pretty much tweeted us the same question.
Okay.
So we'll answer that, but we do need to warn parents of little children that this is probably not the question for you guys to listen to. You might want to skip just 3-4 minutes ahead.
Yeah, skip a few minutes just in case, and then if we think you've gone too far, just scroll back again. But if you
listen to the jingle. David will put a jingle out once we're finished, and then you're free to listen. But we've told you now, if you've got a small child with you, probably not the question that you want to listen to.
And we've given enough warning now, Michael.
Go ahead.
Matthew
Hobbs has emailed him. What is your fathering views on telling children about Father Christmas? Do you tell them that he is real? Do you not? Do you let them work it out themselves? Do you wait until someone else tells them the truth? When do you tell them the truth? Etc. etc.
The problem is I'm not anywhere near a position where this conversation can come up. My kids are too young, and my eldest child is in it for her first proper year of knowing the magic of Christmas, which is really good, actually. Really, really good. Really nice to see. So I don't really want to broach that for many years. I want them to have that magical innocence about Christmas. Do you remember when you found out?
No, I was trying to ask my mum this, and she can't remember either, and I can't remember.
I remember I was at school in a lesson, and I remember the teacher, I don't know what we were talking about, but the teacher just randomly saying to class, we all know that Santa doesn't exist, don't we? And everybody laughing. And I just have that, and that sudden realisation and that horrible feeling of knowing, he doesn't exist. But it's weird because in that same sickening moment when I kind of find out he doesn't exist, there's also that realisation of, hang on, that actually makes complete sense with how Christmas works. And that was only first year of uni, so. But yeah, that was a horrible way for me to find out. But also, like I say, it's one of those of thinking, when you piece it all together, then actually, it does make sense.
Do you think if Mary just came up to you and said, "Is Santa real?" Do you think you'd be a yes or a no guy?
I think I'd still be a yes.
Or would you
I
be
think
a
I have
ask
to
your mum?
No, I think I'll be a yes. I think you've still got to play to it until you can tell they're adamant that they know
Mm-hmm.
that they don't that he's not real. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever just come out of it and say, "No, no, he's not real." I think you got to play the card as long to the point where you think you know they're old enough and that they've realised themselves that they're not trying to just humour you with it.
Yeah.
Because I think there is an element sometimes as a kid when you know, but you don't want to let on so
Yes.
much to spoil that magic for your parents or grandparents or whatnot. So you just play
Yeah.
the game for a bit longer.
I've got some friends, and they think that one of their children might be doing that at the minute.
Oh, that's
Um,
horrible.
yeah. And I'm not saying names or anything like that. I know loads of people with loads of children.
Yeah.
But after recently speaking to them, I think they feel that one of their children might be pretending to believe.
Oh, the time has come. When we were talking about this episode this week, you were telling me about you've got a story about Letter to Santa
Yeah,
with your dad.
yeah. And at the time, I was like, "Yeah, of course." But looking back, it's like, how have you managed to get that past us, Dad? So every year, when we believed in Santa, it was like, right, okay, because we'd see him at the weekends, because my mum split up. So we'd see him at the weekends. Like, right, okay, it's time for your Christmas present list for Santa. It's like, okay, cool. Now here's the Argos catalogue. Now remember to write down the page number, the item number, and the catalogue number next to the toy. I'm like, but Dad, this is Argos. We're writing a letter to Santa. He's like, oh yeah. Santa's got Argos. Oh right, Dad. Okay. we'll just carry on here writing page 721, Power Rangers number 2, cat number. At the time, as I said, yeah. Oh, right, yeah, of course they do, Dad. Yeah, it must be. That's why we're writing it. But now looking back, it's like, fucking hell, Dad.
That was one of the greatest things about Argos is when the new Argos catalogue comes out.
Yeah.
Get that bad boy straight
Right
to the back.
back.
Look at the toys. And
Yeah.
now it's Amazon lists. I don't know if you found that when you want. It's some of Catherine's nieces and nephews. It's very much there's an Amazon list. What?
Oh, right, okay. No, we haven't yet. We haven't. I imagine that you look at teenagers doing Amazon lists, close to teenagers.
A bit young, yeah, kind of in that mid-teen kind
10,
of
11,
middling.
12.
Yeah.
We don't really know anyone that's 11, 12 yet. So there's no kind of Amazon.
I think it's sad times that we've moved on from the Argos catalogue just to an Amazon list. Sad day for society, I think.
You're practically getting married. I mean, that's what you do for your wedding. For your wedding presents in it, here's a list. Go check it out and buy it.
Okay, so we've got that one question wrapped up. We think. Any other questions?
Do we want the other one from John James Bruce?
Yeah, go on then. It's Christmas time.
Okay.
It's the time for giving.
I quite like this question, actually. I'm glad you said yes. Is Winter Wonderland a Christmas song or a winter-based love song?
This is going on Christmas film kind of territory here.
It is.
What are the lyrics again to that song?
Right, here we go. I'm glad you asked, David.
Okay.
Right, so now when reading this the other day, I'm pretty certain this is the only lyric that mentions anything to do with Christmas.
Okay.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? That's it. Sleigh bells ring. That's the only bit of Christmas, right?
Okay.
So, sleigh bells ring, are you listening? Oh. In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird, singing our song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow, we can build a snowman, then pretend that he is Parson Brown. Now, I've Googled this, and apparently Parson or Brown, one of them, is another name for a vicar back in old days. But they've added the other word, so I think it's Parson. So I think Parson is the vicar, and they've just added Brown because it rhymes. So, then pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, "Are you married?" We'll say, "No, man." but you can do the job now. You're in town.
I mean, more of this is just it's a setting, isn't it? Surely.
Well, I think it's a really nice song. It's a really sweet. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire. In the meadow, we can build a snowman and pretend that he's a circus clown. We'll have lots of fun with Mr. Snowman. I think it's a really cute love song.
Yeah, but it's just about winter, isn't it? It's just describing. It's like you say, it's like a love letter to winter.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful song. If you really listen to it.
I was talking to Catherine in the car today about the whole Christmas film debate, and we then start talking about Christmas songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's probably for a question for next year, maybe potentially in terms of Christmas, like what do you class as a Christmas song? But Catherine was saying that E17's
Stay now, baby, if you've got to go away.
But that's not a Christmas song, as far as I'm aware. But it was just because it was Christmas number one and became synonymous with the time.
There's no lyrics to say it was Christmas time, but the video had snowing coming down, and they were dressed as Eskimos, and therefore it was a winter Christmas song. But it was Christmas number one. You get any Christmas number ones now, and they'll put it on the top 100 best Christmas songs or whatever. Yeah. But you will instantly if you liked that song, you will think of Christmas.
Yes. And it's because Christmas number one actually used to be something. It actually used to mean something. It used to be a massive achievement back in the day. Now you just don't realise what Christmas number one is. I did not know at all for the last 2 or 3 years that Lad Baby guy had Christmas number ones. Never even heard of him until someone said to me, literally like at the end of last year, "Oh, this is Christmas number one."
He's got the last two, hasn't he?
That's what I mean.
I thought it was. I remember listening to it the first time and thought it was naff and thought this is never going to get Christmas number one, but it flipping did, and not only once, twice.
Yeah. So, but that's a whole different conversation on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that one done. Any other listener questions, or is that the last one?
No, that's all we've got.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody. Usual channels to send them in for next series, but now it's time for surprise question. It's for that time of the podcast for surprise question. This is the part where Mike and I ask each other a question that's a complete surprise. We've had no prep work whatsoever. It is just off the cuff. For the last episode of this series, it is Michael's turn to ask moi the surprise question. I am hoping it is Christmas related. Is it Christmas related?
Of course.
Very good. Michael, over to you for surprise question.
Christmas, as we know, the real meaning of Christmas is the birth of Jesus Christ. 2020 years ago.
Yep.
Now at that time, 3 wise men brought him gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Mm-hmm.
But my question to you, David, is if Jesus was born in 2020, what 3 items would you bring him?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a very good one. It's got to be a modern day gift list. Will he have already put an Amazon gift list on?
I mean, he's just been born, so...
But his parents would have done, surely. Oh, okay. 3 gifts. Modern day gifts. Okay. I'm really trying to think of what really sums up modern day. See, at first, Amazon Alexa pops up because everyone's got version of Alexa. So he's got to have an Alexa. He's got to have a subscription to some kind of streaming service.
Really? Okay, then.
Already. So I think Netflix is the obvious one, but he's a baby, so maybe Disney Plus is more apt.
Right.
Okay, so Alexa, Disney Plus, and promise I keep saying like a TikTok account, but you can just get that for free.
You present Jesus with a pre-made TikTok account.
Just get someone turns up and just a floss and go, look at all these things you can do. The only thing I could think of is, you can get those Ring doorbells.
Shut
with the
up.
Camera.
You'd get a Ring doorbell.
Everyone seems to have a Ring doorbell. I don't. But apparently everyone's got one.
We
so
don't.
I've got to
Next
get
door
one
do
now.
though. Next door I've got one.
Or one of those Hive heating controls. I get him a Hive heating control. So I'm getting Amazon Alexa Disney Plus, and one of your Hive heating controls.
Okay.
Perfect done.
I thought you might have gone mobile phone.
Yeah, but you could just get a tablet now, couldn't you? Who actually rings anybody nowadays? You could just FaceTime
hell.
people. Okay, so what would you gone for? 3 modern day gifts.
Well, because it's in 2020, my 3 gifts was going to be a face mask,
Okay.
anti-bac gel, and the vaccine.
Okay, yeah, actually, that's probably more sensible of a choice. Here's me turning up with a Hive heating control, and yeah, I can make sure you don't get this disease anymore.
You've turned up like you've just won the gadget show competition. And I'm here to save his life.
I want to know if anybody's won that gadget show competition from a few weeks ago.
Love to. There was a phase where I used to enter it every week.
Yes, and every time you watched it, you thought it was done. No, there's another thing, and now another thing.
Yeah.
And I used to sit there going, I don't know what I'd do with all that stuff.
No, well, I kept picturing thinking, well, I can store it in Mum's conservatory, and then we'd just wait for Christmas, and then somebody can have a flying helicopter, and someone else can have a Ring doorbell.
Yeah, you've got your Christmas gifts done for a lot of people for the next year. You'd save so much money, and you look quite impressive. You'd get this gift from someone thinking, that must have set them back a bit.
Just don't tell anyone that you've done it.
Yeah. What's Susie Perry doing coming around your house? Nothing. Just dropping off a letter. Don't worry. Okay, so surprise question done. Thank you very much, Mike.
Pleasure.
I think we can easily say that yours was more sensible and the better option for our Lord and Saviour.
Yeah, but of my answers, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't like to brag, but but to be fair, David, I've had all week to think about it.
Yeah. Interested to hear what other people think as well. What are the 3 gifts you would give Jesus Christ this year?
That sounds still talk to us. I want people to still talk to us on Twitter.
It sounds so Alan Partridge me asking that. What 3 modern day gifts would you give? Okay, now it's time for the last question of the episode. Michael, Christmas Day, the one thing that anyone is most excited about, especially a kid, is the morning. It is the present wrapping, opening, I would say, time. And that now I have to backtrack slightly because my question for this last bit is, open your Christmas presents. When should you do it? Morning, afternoon, evening?
If it's not morning, if you're saying afternoon or evening, then I really haven't got time for you in my life.
No, it's got to be morning every single time.
Yeah.
I don't know who's delaying to the afternoon or evening.
Well, my dad, for one, used to. I think he was still waiting for Argos delivery.
I think, look, the only exceptions are if you're going around somebody else's house or...
Absolutely.
Or something like that. But ultimately, if you've got presents under the tree, open them in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that one of my mates, when he went round his now wife's parents for Christmas for the first time, they waited until the afternoon, and I'd be like, I couldn't, what's going on? This isn't right.
No, I had a go at my granddad because we were waiting for him to come downstairs, and this was in the morning, so we'd all got up, I don't know, 8, 9 o'clock, and we all just sat there, we were having a brew or whatever, and we were waiting for my granddad, and we can hear him moving stuff, and let's just say it's 9 o'clock. I'm like, what's he doing? I was like, right, I've had enough of this. I'm gonna see what he's doing. So I got to the bottom of the stairs and went, Granddad, what? What you doing? We're all waiting for you. I'm having a wash. You what? What do you mean you're having a wash? You get your presents first and then we'll all have a shower. we sat here waiting for our presents and you up there flipping scrubbing your armpits.
I can imagine you just rocking back and forth. When's he coming?
Oh, I was fuming at him. Couldn't believe it. It was like, oh, right. I'll just have the shave. No, you won't. I want your half beard coming down.
Yeah, it's got to be morning every single time. I'm not going for anything else. Do you want to know any holiday present traditions about different days where presents are opened?
Do we need content to fill the rest of this podcast?
We don't, but I thought it might be
No,
interesting
yeah,
to
of
finish
course. Why not?
this last
Give it to
bit.
me.
I was trying to research in terms of like, do other countries do it in the afternoon or evening? I couldn't really find anything specific, but I found days instead.
See, this is why, right? Thank you for this, David, because it's
Okay.
bits like this that you essentially run this podcast. And
Yeah.
if it wasn't for you steering this bus, it would have gone off the motorway into a ditch somewhere.
Hey, you did the research on the Winter Wonderland song.
I mean, it was a quick Google. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. So different days throughout the year where people open their presents. The earliest presents are opened on St. Nicholas's Day or St. Nicholas Eve on the 5th of December, and that's children in Holland
All their
that do
presents.
that. Well, it says on here that kids in Holland of 10, yeah, so people from 10 and above receive their presents on the 5th of December, presumably then to open them.
All right.
On the 6th of December, actually St. Nicholas's Day, children in Belgium, Germany, I think Czech Republic as well, and other European countries open their presents as well that early. 6th of December.
I mean, there's a case for the trees to go up then, isn't there?
Yeah, and then children in the UK, America, and other countries such as Japan as well open their presents on Christmas Day, which we all know of. The latest time that presents are opened are on the 6th of January, which is Epiphany, and that's mainly celebrated. Yeah, but that's mainly celebrated in Catholic countries such as Spain and Mexico. So I don't think I could wait as a kid to the 6th of January.
No chance.
Could you imagine? You know, all your mates are opening their presents. They're, bragging at school about what they've got, and you just come back like, "Yep, gonna wait 2 more days, and I finally get that PlayStation 1."
Yeah, when PlayStation 5's out.
Yeah. So that's some more stuff on Christmas days. But I think we can wrap up this question quite easily and say it's morning.
It has to be like the whole purpose of waking up Christmas morning is to and I'm going to experience for the first time. Well, just general, watch other people get their presents and you get your presents. It's a joyous that sets off the day then, and you can go in and just enjoy your food, your drink, your other presents, to see people, the films, TV, whatever, games.
Mm. When you, as a kid, when you used to open your presents with your brother, what was I'm not going to say the tactic, but what was the etiquette for it? Was it free for all? Just, here's my presents, I'm going to open them up, or was it you'd open the present, then your brother, and then you take it?
I don't think we did it any sort of take it in turns. It was just a free for all. We've still got them. My mum, bless her, we've got 2 sacks. And we've had them all our lives, and then we just used to dive in and get them. I will say, actually, we do, but it's a bit of a tradition or whatever, but there is a tradition in my mum's house, and I'm starting to bring it into Lucy's parents' house, but I seem to be the one that always gets the presents and no one else seems to get them. So I'm the one that's spending the money. I'm like, guys, come on, just give me some links or something. But my mum, and it was her mum, my grandma, that started it or whatever, after under the tree presents, they're called. So whoever's around the table for Christmas dinner will have all bought each other little presents under a £5 that we leave under the Christmas tree, and then as soon as lunch or dinner's finished, we'll then get them and distribute them. So
that's nice.
So there is a bit of an afternoon present opening thing, and that just something else a little bit more to be excited for, I suppose. But your general, your PlayStation 5 type presents you want first thing in the morning.
Yeah. See, as a kid, because obviously I've got 3 older sisters, it wasn't all free for all. It was one at a time.
No,
and that wasn't, but that wasn't enforced on parents. We somehow, as kids, we just decided that was the fairest way. And if somebody opened the present, then your turn, then your turn, then your turn. And you can imagine Christmas morning would go on for a while. Or as kids anyway, we'd be up at the crack of dawn or 2 o'clock in the morning, just waiting. Like, can we just get presents?
Or 4 o'clock in the morning, David.
or 4:00. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm getting this. Look, you're rubbing it in more than I did with your.
Well, I am because of the 7.2. That's the only reason, David. I wouldn't have worn all this if it wasn't for your little 7.2 to IKEA remark.
But yeah, we used to take it one at a time, and it's worked. Like I don't know why we ever did that. Whether we just thought if we went for free for all, there'd just be paper everywhere and it wouldn't work for some reason. But yeah, we've always took it in turns.
Your
And I've
parents
never,
must have had like 2 or 3 cups of coffee.
but I've never, even thinking about it now, even as a kid, I never had an issue with that. And I was never like, oh, come, let me open that present next. I think as a kid, you could probably tell if you asked for a certain present what that was under the tree. So I'd always go for that first anyway. But I don't know, maybe I was just a patient child. I don't know.
Have you or any of your sisters carried that on with their children?
I don't know. Because I think with one of my sisters, her kids are old enough now that probably does happen.
Yeah.
But for my other sisters, they're too young, I think, maybe to appreciate that.
Okay.
To do it one at a time. I need to ask, actually. I don't know.
That'd be interesting if they do.
Yeah, I will. I'll put it in the WhatsApp.
Sweet.
Mike wants to know. What do the kids do? Okay, and I think on that then, Mike, that's it. That's another episode done. And not only is it another episode done, it's series 1 of A Daft Question done.
I'm upset, David, because I probably won't speak to you again until series 2 now.
There's no reason why, not only WhatsApp, but we could try and do a Zoom call that's just not a recorded episode. We could just talk in general. Our conversations don't have to be about podcast things. They can be about other things as well. We don't have to be messaging each other about worrying about whose team's going to lose this game. We can just talk about other things. But yeah, that's the end of series 1, everybody. And I just want to say a big thank you to you for listening, not just if you've listened to one episode or throughout the whole series, any of them really, for taking the time out of your busy podcast schedules with everything else going on in the world, but also with all the other podcasts that people listen to now, decided to listen to this Wolverhampton guy and this Northerner for an hour or so about completely Daft questions and sending your questions in.
Yeah, that's huge. People have actually got involved and give us their feedbacks and that gave us the questions, because that's two parts of the show that just wouldn't have happened. It'd be a very small part of the show if they didn't do that. So yeah, it's been great, David. I've had a right good laugh and I appreciate everyone that's listened.
We've got the questions already in the bank for Series 2, but we want your questions ready for the next series in 2021. So usual channels, just search for A Daft Question. You'll find us there. Please send your completely daft questions for that. Maybe New Year related might be a good one in terms of New Year traditions or resolutions or stuff like that.
Or ask us what we got up to at Christmas. What was our best present?
Yeah.
What was our worst present? Anything. Yeah.
Anything. It's a daft question. Daft question goes.
There is one question that got tweeted, and I think you know which one I mean. There was one question that got tweeted in last week, and that was not Christmas related whatsoever. Okay. Really random, and I'm looking forward to answering that next.
I think I know which one it is without trying to give it away. Is it to do with a rat?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm looking forward to that one.
Okay,
that's what we're about.
We'll make sure we'll get it down for the first episode then. But that's it then. Thank you very much for listening, not just this episode, for this series as well. We hope you have a great Christmas. Make sure over Christmas, if you've got nothing to do and you're just slumming on the sofa, you've eaten too much, why not listen to the past episodes if you've not done so already? Why not? But for not just this episode, this series, it's bye from Mike.
And it's bye from David.
See you in series 2.